springen wieder zurück und fahren im Jahr 1962.
Thank you very much. It's really kind of fun just trying to follow your footstep in modern music. From which source all this curiosity comes from?
You know, the curiosity comes from yourself. It depends who you are. I think because you can have two people who born in the same time and they don't have the same curiosity. But to be more precise, in music, my curiosity comes from my teenager years. Because I'm 56, so I'm born in 1960, and in the 17 I could discover all the pop music like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Genesis, all this stuff, and I was a big fan. And in the same time I discovered jazz, because I born close to Genève and close to Montreux jazz. And when I was a kid, they play at the TV all the Montreux concerts. So I could see a band from Weather Report, MC5, Dizzy Gillespie, all, and it was really open.
We would like to know something about some of the currents flowing in your music. Let's talk at first a little bit, starting from your passions, not directly related to jazz. I mean electronic music and then folk and ethnic music. Could you please tell us about these two passions in particular? The folk side, let's say, ethnic side, and the electronic one. Which kind of approach you have?
You know, the folk side is in a relation with myself, my body, because I play a folk instrument, just breath and hair. And the electronic side came from my teenager years, because we loved to listen really cool music like Closed Shoes and Tangerine Dream and Smoke Joint. It was the time for this.
Yeah.
So when I discovered Massive Attack in the 19, and when I was invited to play in a drum and bass project in London with Marcello Giuliani, I was not surprised to discover this music, because it was a continuity of what I loved when I was teenager.
And considering on the other side improvisation and Afro-American influences, which were your masters, and which are the musicians that you think could be considered more meaningful for developments of this kind of music today?
You know, I cannot describe this in 2 minutes, because the best description for me is made by Duke Ellington. He said that jazz is a tree, and the roots are the blues. And on the tree you have many sleeves, and you have many parts of this tree, and every year you have a new part of the tree. So I'm a really big fan of for sure Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald, of all the blues, and of Duke Ellington, Charles Mingus, and of Miles. All what he did, he did a lot to express the sensation that you can play jazz in a pop way.
And rap and hip-hop culture circulated all over the world, in France also a lot, and you have been influenced also by this phenomenon. Yeah. How is your current relationship with it?
You know, for me, rap is a whole music, because I discovered this music in the 80s. 1981. It became. It grew up. And for me, it's completely natural. It's a contemporary expression. And like contemporary expression, you have good one and you have bad one. And for me, there is a lot of bad rap because it's like the meaning of the human.
Yeah.
I don't like mostly it's not really poetic intellectual.
But there is also poetry in there, and could
And
be
there are
intense,
some
yes,
incredible
as everywhere, yes, for sure. The places in which your concerts take place are not always very common, and we can sometimes off the beaten path, no? Which is the aquail of your music in places like Eastern countries, Far Asia, that are very different from your musical tradition, European, let's say. How was the impact on the public in those different faraway places?
You know, it's there is no generality. It depends a lot about the context. Because if I play in for example South Korea, they had a big festival, open air, Chazuera festival. You know this festival? Maybe there is 50,000 people. It's big. So people came from the style of music, so they love it. And a lot of people know my music. But if I play in South Korea, in a disco club, the people don't care. It depends really the context. But it's always easier when the people know your music. And in a lot of part of the world, because Blue Note, the people know my music. So.
They can follow it better, yes, for sure.
Yeah, and also the human is always curious.
Yeah. And despite the fact that you are quite open to the music world outside, you have fixed collaborations to create and share your music. Giuliani, for example. How much is important a long-term collaboration in your music, and which are the balances and the reciprocal influences?
You know, I have two kind of projects. One project is my quartet, and my quartet is a really common experience, a common composition. So the influence of the other are big. I'm just a part of the form.
Yeah.
After there are other concepts, other part. For example, when I play with Murkoff, when I did the Benares, when I play with Sly Johnson, this is from me, and I compose this. But for my band, we made a lot of success since 20 years. Yeah, the influence, for example, from Marcello Giuliani, the Italian bass player, is really important because he's a good producer.
Yeah.
So he helped a lot to produce the album. He has the sound himself. To be honest, I love to play music, I love to record, but I'm not a producer.
Yeah.
I have the idea, but after to produce music is technique.
Yeah. Different responsibilities, for sure, different streams. And Doni Doni, Little by Little, is the name of your collaboration with Rokia Traoré. And how did everything start? And which are the main characteristics of this new musical experience?
Well, you know, 2 years ago, maybe no, 4 years ago, we were in Johannesburg for a show with dancer, African dancer, and we elaborate, we compose together. and we had a really good experience. It was strong, and they gave us really beautiful energy. So when we decide to improvise and to cherish about new music, this African influence came back. Like the drum and bass in the 90s. It's the same. We were with other bands, drum and bass, and when we improvised, this music came back. And so after we had some tune around African style or feeling, so I thought that could be great to find a good African singer.
And
so I knew just one African singer in France. It was Rocket Farmer.
yeah. And it is a
After
fruit.
I phoned her and I asked her if she's okay, and she it was not complicated.
And it is a fruitful experience. Thanks a lot, Erik. Thanks.
You're welcome.